Alrighty, so we got Steve in here, and if you're wondering why it looks like this, we're trying to see if we have a blown head gasket or something popped. So what happened is that we went on a test drive, just driving around, testing it before we went to the dyno, and we saw coolant come out of here and all over here. So my guess is that there is possibly a head gasket that is blown on this car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pressurize the system, as you see here. Pressurize it, see what's going on. I'm going to take the plugs out. Sorry I didn't start from the absolutely beginning, guys, but it's just that back trim piece and then that's off. So yeah, I'm going to try and document this as I go along, but I'm going to pull the plugs out, and when I pull the plugs out, when I pressurize it, if I hear it coming out of the spark plug hole, then I'll know. So here we go. Alrighty, so a little pressure checker on there, and so I'm at 20, and the engine's still cold. I didn't let it run that long because, like I said, I was pretty much guessing it wasn't a head gasket, and that it's doing it kind of under boost, and that's where we're seeing it. Let's see if we can see these down in here. So no, you're not going to. Yeah, it doesn't. That one's, there you go. So you can kind of see that one. It's a little bit cleaner than the rest. This hole looks like absolute garbage. There's carbon on that one, carbon on that one, and carbon on that one. So more or less like a time-telled sign of a popped head gasket kind of deal is you'll see one that's like super clean compared to the others. This one, I mean, two, you're kind of seeing a little bit, but it's nothing too bad. The plugs, on the other hand, like, so when I pulled this one out, it was not only oily, but it had some junk on it. 1 and 2 were quite nasty. So, like I said, it's dropping slowly. And like so I started at 1.5 and it bled off. And this is like the second time I've done it. So yeah, I mean, it's something's definitely going on. The question I'm going to go with, and just could probably go ahead and do it, and we're just probably going to rip the head off. I'm going to rip the head off probably in the car. We're going to do valve stem seals and head studs while we're out and just get it checked. We don't want to run the risk of anything going on. So I don't think that, more or less, even if I get it up to temp and drive it around, make it hot as shit for myself, I've already seen that it's pushing coolant out of a reservoir. So there's pressure, the coolant system is getting pressurized above what it's supposed to be. So with that being said, enough about that. Let's get into pulling this beautiful system off and see what we can find out, figure out what can happen, what we'll do. Like I said, I mean, more or less, I'm going to pull the head off in the car, put it on TDC, take off everything, pop it, and we should be good to go. Also, I have to go pick up a trailer at 4, so I'm kind of racing against the clock. I don't even know what time it is right now. It's like 2 something, because that's got to go to the dyno tomorrow. told you I'll time lapse for this. So it looks like we are off a tooth on the exhaust side. The intake will go in with the Honda tool. The exhaust will not. So that is interesting because this motor is 100% stock. So fun. And I don't remember, but I do not think that I ever pulled off this timing on Steve. I could be very completely wrong on this, but I do not remember at this point in time because I'm looking at this, and this is a junkyard old engine, and yeah, everything looks okay. I don't want to say it's great, but it's there. Alrighty, sorry about the fan. It's pretty loud. It's hot out. So we have the cam towers off, and now so I drained the coolant. That's what I was doing. Disconnected all that. Obviously, the tensioner is out, but it looks okay in here. I wouldn't say anything more. I wouldn't really say much less. And then to everybody who's like, "Oh man, the AK series, you know, doing a head gasket on it between the frame rail. Go rear wheel drive, bruh. Go rear wheel drive right there. Boom." So we're about to knock some more of this out. Hasn't been too long. You guys saw in time lapse. Most of it was spent me looking for stuff. So here we go. Alrighty, so I was wondering if everything was. We've done a few of these, quite a bit, so I trying to remember everything. I couldn't really remember. So yeah, this one was 100% bone stock. As you can see, there's no the lower timing gear holder piece, the little aftermarket one. That's not on there. That's normally what we do, I think. So, but everything else is completely stock because all the Honda Bond is exactly stock, and yeah. You're not going to get all that coloring from the amount of miles that we put on it. So let's take out all of our bolts and the head. I put the cam towers and cams over there, and then I'll put the head probably by it. But we're going to see if we can get this out just like how it is. We shouldn't have a problem. But oh yeah. So 1 and 2 is the one that was weird, and it looks like, yeah, we had a failure between 1 and 2 where it was pushing. So we are going to, luckily we're already going to the dyno. We're going to Wes's, Wes Spry. Check him out if you guys don't already. You should. If you're doing anything Honda, check him out. Builds engines. Great guy. So yeah, like I was saying, with how many miles are on this motor and how clean all of these are, I mean, you look down in there, and we were definitely pushing some coolant because these things are cleaned. Oops, sorry. There's absolutely no way that we got that clean of a motor. Not possible. I mean, I guess everything is possible, but we're gonna flip this head over and see what we see. Combustion looks not bad. Really doesn't. So, but something was definitely, this is interesting. That one is not just because of the color, but also because of that little raise on it. But besides that, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So now with everything off, we can take off the intake manifold and everything else like that. So, and I made a giant mess, like normal. There's not really, and I'll be told wrong in the comments by everybody else, but I don't think there's a clean way to do a head gasket, because when you separate them, they just, and then especially when you're flipping it up and down, and somebody will be like in the comments, you should suck out all the oil, and if you don't suck out the oil in the head, and if you don't suck everything out, you are doing it incorrectly. But I'll tell you. Trust me, I haven't built cars, but I do it on the internet.